Have you ever wondered why you keep falling for people who cannot fully meet you? Why every relationship seems to begin with hope and end with you questioning your worth? What if the uncomfortable truth is that you keep attracting emotionally unavailable people because there is a part of you that is emotionally unavailable too? I know that's hard to hear, but stay with me. When your nervous system learns that love means sacrifice, uncertainty, or walking on eggshells, a safe relationship doesn't feel exciting. It feels unfamiliar. That's when you fall into trying to fix or change the other person, or start chasing love or performing to prove your value. But true intimacy requires something else: presence and openness to receive. Today, we're not going to talk about how to make someone love you. We're going to talk about becoming the woman who no longer has to. Welcome to the Soul Session Heal, Align, Manifest with Samira Seraphini, a weekly experience to activate your permission to prosper and to be loved so you can get out of survival mode into conscious creation. Take a deep breath and let's begin. Hello, and welcome to the Soul Session. I'm Samira, and I'm so happy to have you with me today. In this episode, we are talking about how to finally welcome safe and reciprocal love and end the cycle of emotional unavailability. So, this is your permission to be loved. And I wanted to record this episode because there is so much inner work that we can do around relationships and love life. And I also have some other episodes that you guys can check as well. But this one is special to me because it was a true turning point when I shifted my identity and also my perspective on what a mature love was. And I do feel that many of us can resonate of growing up with this idea of a fairy tale type of love. And also a type of love that is very intense, almost like a symbiotic fusion where you and the other person needs to sacrifice themselves or to give a lot of time, a lot of energy. Otherwise, it isn't true love. And at some point, I became to realize that this need for intensity and overgiving in the relationship and expecting the other person to show up for you in a very intense way, it wasn't a healthy love. It is actually coming from a need of your inner child or my inner child of wanting to feel loved and embraced and even seek validation. But all of these needs are coming from unclosed chapters of the childhood rather from a mature woman, an inner adult seeking a healthy and balanced relationship. And when I had this experience of healthy love, a mature love, was when I was able to express who I was and what I was feeling instead of feeling judged or pressured to perform, to people please, or to be the good girl, for example. So, you are in a safe space, when your relationship is a good relationship. When there is a space for you to drop the mask and express how you truly feel. If you are mad, if you are upset, if you are triggered, and is still being loved and embraced in the way that you are. So, a mature love isn't exactly about what you give or the other person gives to the relationship. And there is that in a level. But on a deeper level, it's about accepting, respecting, and taking the other person as they are. And also being respected, appreciated, and loved for who you are in your essence, and having this safe space to express. I like to call this somatic intimacy because you can allow yourself to be seen even when you're not in your best day or you're tired, and not feel pressured or judged by that. And this is a turning point because this isn't about your partner or your future partner, but it is about how you see love, and that will affect how you show up and how you interact with the person that you choose to partner with. So it is an inner shift, and that's what we're going to work on today's session. First, I want to start by clarifying something I brought up in the beginning of this session, where I said that a person that keeps attracting unavailable people means that there is a part within themselves that is unavailable as well. And I understand this can be tough to hear, but a truly available person for a serious relationship or for a mature love, they will feel immediately turned off at the first sign of inconsistency or doubt or unavailability when they are connecting with another person. Because she has clarity of what she wants, and she is not losing its focus to convince the other person that she is worthy of love or that a serious relationship is the best option for them. So, if you are a person that is looking for a relationship, but you keep attracting partners that aren't ready for the level of commitment you are seeking, or if you are struggling with your partner to take it to the next level, or if you've been single for a while, it means that there is something in you that you need to integrate in order to untangle yourself from your current situation and attract, manifest, whatever you want to call it, prepare, sustain the type of relationship you want to invite to your life. Now, let's talk about the 3 biggest mistakes you may be making in your love life that you may think they are helping you, but it is actually self-sabotaging the connection. So first is overgiving. When we think about relationship, it's important to find balance and creating space for the other person to participate as well. Is nurturing the relationship in a balanced way. When a person overgives, it means they are occupying the whole space of the relationship. And it might be from a good place, from a good intention, but the one who gives too much, who tries to save, who tries to do all this stuff to convince the other person that they are worthy of love, it is actually unavailable to receive because obviously they are occupying doing too much. The excess of overgiving is a shield so you never get to be vulnerable in the relationship, to be seen as you truly are, and covering the fear of getting rejected. But true intimacy grows when there is a space for you to receive and also to be seen as you are instead of what you do for the other person and for the relationship. So, what creates intimacy and a space for the relationship to grow instead of giving is being. Because true intimacy happens in presence when your partner can see who you truly are and you can see who he truly is. And there is space for appreciation and expression. The second biggest mistake is trying to analyze the other person. So, taking quiz on the internet, trying to discover their attachment styles or label them as avoidant, narcissist, this or that. This is what I call the healing trap because it keeps you over analyzing the situation without integration. Because it is very easy to find a mistake or something to fix in the other person because then you don't need to worry about yourself. You don't need to look within. So learning about attachment styles and all these things, it is helpful at some level, but getting stuck in the mind won't help your relationship. And the truth is, it doesn't matter what attachment style your partner has. If he loves you and if he wants a true, serious relationship with you, he will find ways within himself to make that happen. On the other hand, if he doesn't want to commit, there isn't any attachment style quiz that will make him, that will change his attachment style and that will change his idea about committing to you or to any other person. And if you find yourself trying to convince another person or trying to understand their side or justify their behavior, it is a sign that you need to look towards your self love, how strong, how weak it is. Because when you meet someone that isn't interested in what you want or in who you are, the most healthy way to deal with that is to liberate it from your field. Liberate those people that doesn't match your energy and your goals so they can gravitate towards what they want and you can find your people, you can find your goals. And the third biggest mistake you might be making is following the type of advice on the internet about playing that black cat, feminine energy type of woman, trying to make him chase you or trying to command the room and attract lots of eyes and attention from everyone around, and to be this irresistible woman. And I want to say this with much love, but it's tough love. This necessity to get everyone's attention and to perform someone you're not. It is coming from a deep need of validation and love from your parents, from your family, back in your childhood. It is coming from your inner child who didn't feel she was seen and now projects that in a very high capacity to try to compensate a void inside. Because a safe and confident person who worked these wounds or has healed this type of wounds understands that not everybody is going to be your people, that not every room is your place to shine, not every place. And not all the man needs to think you are amazing and incredible woman. If you have your partner, your inner circle, your friends and family knowing who you are and appreciating who you are is enough. And many times when you are living in your essence, a life that is aligned with who you are, many people, it is so natural that many people won't understand that. But it is okay because you are focused on what truly matters, not the stage, not the attention, but true value and true connection. And this is what I call the performance burnout, because you try to play someone you are not, or you try to get the attention of everyone's around. And when that doesn't go as planned, either you cannot sustain it, or either you don't get the results you were expecting. Frustration and feeling like a failure knocks on your door right away. So you don't need to play someone you are not, or to play games, make him chase you in order to sustain, manifest, attract. I like to call it sustain a good, mature love and healthy relationship. So, what is the soul method perspective on that? How we can heal and align and manifest these biggest mistakes that I mentioned before, and also welcome safe love. Two things. First, your identity, who you are and how you show up, and also true intimacy, which is about being an expression rather than giving and doing. So, the first movement we will be working today, you and me, this is an intimate session, this is our little moment. So, the first movement is localization. Why? Because, for example, many people, there is a movement of many people who doesn't want to have kids or who doesn't want to get married. That might be an expressive movement nowadays, but it doesn't mean that everyone it is in this wave. So all rules have their own exception. So you need to find where you are now. What do you want? What is happening in the world? And if you have, if you cultivate in yourself patterns and thoughts like, oh, no one wants to have serious relationships anymore, or all men are unworthy and they are not good, you are connecting yourself to a morphogenetic field or an energetic field that limitates your vision, because it's like you're looking to the world, you are looking to the reality through this lens that only sees this. So, this localization, what I want you to do is like a map. First, what it is the collective scenario around you. And that means the people that you connect to, your friends, your coworkers, your family members, what are their relationships and what are their thoughts about it? Because if all your girlfriends are talking bad about men, like men, they are trash, it will be hard for you to attract a good love because you are attached or tangled with this limiting field. Or if you have girlfriends that think it is possible to have relationships and they can be healthy and it is possible to have a healthy relationship, you see that this will shape your vision and also will end up shaping your own steps. Because if you don't believe that something is possible, you won't even try to make that happen, or you'll be super suspicious about it. The next level of localization is also looking to your family, to your lineage, and where you come from. So, did you grow up having healthy relationships or unfunctional, dysfunctional relationships, references through your childhood? When you look back, the relationships you saw, like between your parents, between people in your family, your grandmother, your grandfather, do they had a pattern where the person was disrespected, or there was cheating, or one of the partners were giving too much? Because that might help you understand your fears, your patterns, what you might attract unconsciously, and what you might believe about love. Because consciously, you can understand that a relationship when a person doesn't feel respected isn't okay, but your nervous system grow up watching family dynamics that ended up seeing that as normal. So with this map, with this localization, you can understand better where you are, where you come from, and where you are now. So you can make the adjustments to move yourself to where you want to be instead of repeating some patterns unconsciously or just following the mass, you know? So, when you understand where you come from, it is easier to have an idea of what impression your nervous system and your unconscious mind had about love. Maybe a healthy, happy love seems boring today because your body has the experience that love exists, but exists with fight, with cheating, with stress, because that's what you saw while you were growing up. And then when you understand where you are, it is easier for you to understand where you want to get to. It is like a GPS. You can set the destination, but if you don't know where you are, you don't know how to start the route. So you need to understand if you are in a phase of your life where you want a serious relationship, or if you want to enjoy your phase of singlehood and have fun, or if you want to get married and have kids, whatever it is, that direction defines your path and where you take steps forward. And this is important because if you meet someone that you are attracted to or you are connected to somehow, but this person wants something different than what you want. For example, you want commitment, they want something casual. Those are different paths, different destination towards the future. So you guys can meet, but if you stop your path to convince him to take your road, it will be so hard for you to make progress because you're like pushing a car that doesn't run with you in your path. So it is important to understand if you have this pattern of trying to convince the other person or try to prove your value, because it shows you don't hold a strong vision of what you have, or there are inner blocks that are attracting otherwise to your path. And I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty about feeling attraction for someone who doesn't want the same type of relationship you want. But this is a sign for you to look. Why am I feeling this attraction? It is really a map. What is happening on the deeper layers? So, understanding where you are, where you come from, and where you're going, and where it is your partner actually. Where do they come from? Now, let's talk about the second movement, which I like to call activation. And that is inviting your inner adult to the table, to the conversation. And this is essential. Why? Because when we talk about relationship, there is so much conversation about masculine energy, feminine energy, or what you need to do to make him chase you, how to manifest the love. But so many people forget a basic principle that a relationship is an adult's thing. It is not a thing for a child. So you need maturity. You need to be in your adult before you bring polarity and masculine and feminine energy into your relationship, into your inner work. So you need maturity, responsibility, accountability. So in your relationship, especially when you are triggered, it is important to identify if your impulses, your needs are coming from your inner child, your wounded inner child seeking attention, needing care, or your adult, you as a woman, needing presence and connection. So, some questions you can ask yourself to help bring discernment. Are you giving too much to your partner in order to make him own to me or force him to give it back to me? Am I occupying the whole space of the relationship? So there isn't a space for the partner to take the lead, to take steps, to give it to put effort. And these questions will help you to understand where you are acting from your adult and where you're acting from your child. And even if you haven't developed that yet, you can activate your adult. And what is the inner adult that I'm talking about? It is our part that it is connected to the intuition and to the reality that read the signs, that analyze the situations, that take risks, that makes decisions, and also protect us and connects with the others. Because the adult will seek accountability, at the same time, it will protect himself. So sometimes you give too much because you need validation, or you want to save your partner because there is still a part of you trying to save one of your parents, or you want to prove your value to the other person because deep inside you don't feel like you deserve to be loved for who you are. All of that is coming from your inner child. When you activate your adult, you bring balance to the relationship. You do your 50%, you go and meet the person in half of the way, and you will see, you will be connected to the reality to see if the other person is doing their 50, if the other person is meeting you halfway, and if what the other person has to offer is interesting for you, if that's where you want to stay and grow your roots. So the movement when you activate your adult is one of balance between giving and receiving, and discernment to see your decisions. Because you may say to me, but Samira, there are a lot of people who take advantage of the others. There are people who are narcissists, and there are relationships that are highly dysfunctional. And what I have to say to you, yes, there is. The world is wild, and there is a lot of things that aren't okay, that aren't healthy happening around. And that's why you need a strong connection to your adult. And that's why you need a strong filter of what you want, of what you don't want, what you accept, what you won't tolerate. So, at the least sign of dysfunction, disrespect, or simply something that isn't serving what you are looking for, you can withdraw your energy, detach, and cut off. Because there will be conflicts in the relationship, there will be misunderstandings along the way. But you, with your adult, will help you to manage the conflict, go through it, or protect yourself and take proper action to take care of yourself. So you see that a person with a strong adult inside doesn't try to convince, fix, save, or change the partner. If the relationship isn't serving her, she withdraws her energy and pulls back because she gravitates towards people and situations where she is appreciated and she is valued. So, whether you are in a relationship or you are looking for one, instead of you asking yourself, does he want me? I want you to ask yourself, do I want the reality that he is offering me? Because your inner child will seek to be chosen, to be validated, to change the other, to win the rejection. But instead, the adult watches and analyzes, is there consistency in here? Is there reciprocity? Are we going towards the same direction? Does this person has the capacity to give me what I want? Because sometimes the person doesn't have the inner resources to activate and to provide a safe relationship? Or not does it have the external circumstances, even though they want it? So, your inner adult will help you to discern the relationship, the connection, asking the right questions. Like if you have space to express your essence, if your needs are being embraced rather than rejected or judged. So you see that when you bring your adult to the table, you don't need to fear if the other person is going to make you of a fool or something, because you trust in yourself enough that at the first sign that they broke your trust or they are not going in the rhythm and in the direction that you want, you trust yourself that you are strong enough to mature enough to draw your energy and gravitate towards what you want, what is good for you. So this is the activation. And of course that I'm sharing all these questions, but I invite you to take a moment to sit, to meditate, to journal, so you can get a deeper realization of where you are and also how's your adult is helping you manage your love life. Because it is truly doing the inner work. So let's move forward to movement number 3, which is all about creating space for authenticity. So when we talk about relationship, often we are used to this idea of sacrifice or giving all that you have for the person or expecting the other person to make lots of effort for you in order to prove it is a true, real love. But instead of doing, instead of giving, I want you to think about being and sharing. Because the most valuable thing you can have in your relationship is the trust and the intimacy to be who you are and let your partner be who he is. And that is challenging because you need to be comfortable with yourself, with your light, with your shadow. You need to know yourself. You need to accept yourself before you allow yourself to be seen. Also, it is very common that one person tries to change the other in a relationship. And in fact, that is a disrespect to their energy field. Why? Because even in his limitations or in his flaws and everything else, all of that is part of a process he's going through. There is a reason for that. And if you cannot accept your partner as he is, it may be an act of love to set him free so he can be who he is with another person or to simply follow his path. When you make peace with yourself and when you make peace with the person you are with, it will create presence, intimacy, vulnerability. And if we can be honest that it is lacking so much in our world right now, because people think that love is all about shaping the partner, but love can actually be this safe space where you guys can be who you are with light and shadow. And I would say that this is the ultimate goal in a relationship, to create this container of safety and trust and intimacy. And even if you are not in a relationship, you can cultivate this sacred container within yourself. So embrace yourself, respect, appreciate, and express so you feel comfortable being seen. And in this context, it's all being seen by yourself because it is also cultivating self love. So you can grow your self esteem, grow your self love, and create a space to invitate and to sustain the type of love that will offer that safe sacred container that you are cultivating inside. So now with all of that, I want to invite you for a practice. Of course that you can journal, you can meditate. But if you listen to the podcast often, you know that I love bringing a practice, a somatic practice, so you can take all of this information you absorbed in your mind and integrate into your whole body, into your field. It is not only about knowing, but also about activating a new way of being after that. So, for today's practice, I invite you to find a comfortable position. We're not doing this regular type of meditation sitting with closed eyes. We want to activate the body. So, you can be laying down or seated or up front, and let your body guide you through the words that I'll be sharing. Start by connecting with your breath. Naturally, just feel the air on your lungs. Feel your energy field expanding. Your attention and consciousness filling the space. And if there is any tension in your body or in your mind, you can slowly, softly move your body to dissolve it and bring more focus to the here and now, and also to the skin within, what is happening inside. And see what your body needs of you today. Staying more still, or maybe moving a little, shaking any part. And with your eyes closed, I want you to visualize yourself as a little kid. See what age your intuition brings you, any particular moment, but focus on your inner child. And see how she was feeling, happy, dancing, or crying, or sad. And reconnect with that part. Maybe you will notice something of your personality that you forgot or left along the way. Or maybe you will see something that she was needing, but she didn't receive back then. Now, take your time to introduce yourself to her as her grown up version, your inner adult meeting your inner child. Feel how this dynamic unfold. If they are familiar with each other, if it is a new meeting. And then visualize your inner adult saying to your inner child, I am here now. You do not need to seek love or sacrifice your essence. I can take care of us now. You are loved just the way you are. And see how this affects your body, how that makes you feel. And imagine this inner child and inner adult holding each other and merging into one. And when you're ready, take a deep breath and open your eyes. If you enjoyed today's session and this practice, I want to invite you for my course, Permission to Be Loved, which is the soul method applied to love and relationships. There is this myth that you need to be completely healed before you can enter a relationship, or that you need to wait for the right person. And these are signs of unavailability to love. So I want to say that if you are in a relationship, or if you are single looking for a partner, or if you want to improve your relationship with yourself or with your partner, this course is for you. Because in there, I will help you on a deeper layer to see your patterns, your blind spots, so you can develop yourself, single or committed. Because challenges, conflicts will always exist, and they are positive because it is a movement to bring more alignment and more closeness to your life. So you see that the healing, aligning, and manifesting happens on the way. They are the process. They are a practice of relating to yourself and to the world. So if you are ready to quit your patterns, to manifest and sustain better, more fulfilling relationships, and if you want my eyes on your energy field, I invite you to this course. You can check the link in the description and get in touch if you have any questions. Now, before I let you go, let's do a quick recap. On today's session, we talked about 3 movements to get you your permission to be loved. The first one, localization, which is basically building a map of where you came from, where you are, and where you want to go. On deeper layers, social, family, systemic, friends, and partners, so you can get a better discernment of where you are and how to get where you want to be. The second one, how to activate your adult to bring more balance to your relationship and also more confidence to you as a woman in your relationships. And the third was about how to create presence and intimacy in your love life and also inside of you. We did a beautiful practice of your inner child meeting and merging with your inner adult. So I hope you enjoyed this session. If this resonated and touched your heart, leave it a comment so I can hear about your transformation. And I'm sending you so much love and can't wait to see you on the next session. If you made it to the end of this soul session, something within you is already shifting. I see you and I'm so proud of you. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss our weekly activation. If today's episode resonated with you, please leave a review and share it with someone you love. To receive a free guided activation out of survival mode into conscious creation, send a screenshot of your review to the email in the description. To stay connected, join the Soul Session newsletter where I share my own inner journey and behind the scenes insights into the Soul Method. To continue your journey, download the Becoming You workbook or discover what's blocking your next chapter with the Soul Path quiz. If you're ready to go deeper and invest in yourself, here are your next steps inside the Soul Method. For an exclusive experience of my eyes on your field, the Soul Session, an intimate space to see and be seen, and Pearl, the Soul Method for soul-aligned entrepreneurs to grow their business to visibility and success without the burning out. For your own journey at your own pace, Permission to Prosper brings the Soul Method in your relationship with money and manifestation, and Permission to Be Loved applies the method to love and relationships. You'll find all the links in the description below. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, a woman who changes her life is healing her whole lineage. Sending you so much love. Until next time.